Hey, my wandering, pondering friends. I'm out here on this windy, chilly day over at Oakley Corner State Forest. The scene behind me should look familiar to you. It's what we saw in the intro. And it's part of what I call Scenic Chronicles, the idea of taking a picture of a scene and taking that same picture over time, over a course of a year or even longer. You may have seen some of the short videos I put up that showed that. And so today I wanted to give you a behind-the-scenes look at kind of that process and some thoughts there, because it's something I encourage everyone to do. So first off, you want to find a scene. You want to find some place that you enjoy looking at, you're curious about, and you like to go to, right? If you don't like going to it, this isn't going to work very well. It should be a place that you can get to relatively easy. So if you have to climb 8 miles up a mountain, maybe not the best spot, unless you're willing to do that. Think about, can you get there in all seasons? Are roads going to be blocked in winter? Whatever. Think about the scenery. Are there trees there that when the leaves pop out are going to block the view or change the view? Are you going to be able to get there at the same time of day, or do you got to worry about where the lighting might be? I got kind of OCD about this. You don't have to. Just the idea that you're taking multiple pictures can be really cool and really neat. So check those things out. I'll also give you some hints and tips here about lining up the pictures and trying to get that. It is a little bit difficult to get the exact same shot each time. Here's my view down here that I want to capture. I like that bridge. You have some open space there, some breaks in the trees, so you're going to get different light coming in through there. You have that road that kind of curves up around there. But I want a spot so that I can take that picture and get it as close to the same shot each time. So conveniently, I have a post over here. So if we go over here, we can stand right by this post, and I know that I'm going to basically be in the same spot. So what I have here then is a card that I've printed out of one of my pictures, my first picture, and how I wanted things to line up. And so I'm going to center it on the bridge there. And then the rule of thirds. So on a camera, you also often have guidelines that divide it up in thirds, both horizontally and vertically. And so I can use those and I'll line the bottom third line up. Hopefully you can see that. And then also in the middle there, I have a yellow line that shows my balance. And so we'll get that in there, get my picture taken, and I should be good to go. Hi, my friends. I wanted to show you what I do in post-processing now. So say you get some pictures and you want to kind of line them up. Lots of different tools out there. If you're a real photographer, you might be familiar with something called focus stacking. A lot of the tools that are out there have an ability to do focus stacking, where you take a whole bunch of pictures with different things in that picture being in focus, and focus stacking kind of combines them. You can attempt to do that. I found that a little bit too complicated. And so what I do is just kind of move the images around. So I'm using Photo Affinity. That's the tool that I use for a lot of my photo editing. And what I have now is just a whole series of these pictures here lined up. And so each of these is what we would call a layer. And so let's say I have this latest one, and I want to try to line it up with the one behind it, right? So I have another one back here. So I toggle that image on. What I often do is just lower the opacity on that first picture down to somewhere between 20 and 30. And now I can try to drag it around, and you kind of see like a ghost image, which is really the top layer, my newest picture. And so I can move this around until I kind of get it lined up to where I kind of like it. Again, if I'm not in the exact same spot, it's not going to line up perfectly. Or trees grow or bend or fall, right? But this is one way of getting things lined up. And then if I up the opacity again, and I can even flip back and forth to kind of see how it would morph there, or toggle the picture off and on altogether. Now, another way I sometimes play around with this is I take the before picture, and I went ahead and did this ahead of time. I drew a rectangle here, or an object, whatever you want to use, that basically covers that tree. So just a little bit of the bottom of the tree is going to stick out down below there, right? Otherwise, the tree gets covered up. And so now when I toggle on that new layer, I want to again line this up to where, just the very bottom of the tree disappears, but it's all lined up there. So there you have it, two different ways to kind of line things up and get the pictures all as close to exact as you can. So I hope that helps. Like I said, I use a Photo Affinity, but other tools probably have similar approaches to it. Have at it, have fun, or just keep the pictures the way they are. There's nothing wrong with that either. I'm just a little OCD. And the number one mistake I made was about 5 months in, I made it into a chore or a job. I said, all right, I got to get out and get there to get those shots. Where it shouldn't be just about that. It should be the fact that I happen to be there, I'm going to take these pictures again. And so don't let that happen. This is meant to be fun. I had to lighten up on myself a little bit. If I didn't get out there exactly every 2 weeks, it wasn't the end of the world, because it still comes out to be kind of cool. So I want to encourage all of you to do it. Whether your Scenic Chronicle is from the backyard or your favorite park or a mountaintop, drop a comment down below as to where you plan to do that, and we'll check back in a year to see how we're doing with that. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you later. Bye now.